Welcome back. It's the Christmas special. That's why I've got the Christmas edition of the tinfoil hat. And we were talking about alpha males.
Yes.
Bobby, what's an alpha male? Have you ever met one?
Alpha male. I'm looking at one.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I'm looking at one.
And
well, alpha male, I think the term is being thrown around too much. And we have beta males thinking that they're alpha males.
Right.
Maybe a bit too much. Mm-hmm. Why? Because it's like they're compensating. Where they're compensating, so they may feel that they are doing well in certain parts of their life. Mm-hmm. For example, they might have a good career, or they may have a lot of money. Yeah. So they automatically think that they are alpha male because of that. But that's not what makes you an alpha male, in my opinion.
In a room of males, or in a room of people, do you think someone will always emerge as the alpha male if they're all interacting with each other?
Well, in today's day and age, I don't know. But there will probably always be that one dominant, yes.
There'll be we naturally look for a leader.
Yes, yes.
My theory is that anyone can be an alpha male in the right environment. You say you, me, and the producer all go out together with another pathetic, weedy guy who's not into the gym, he's not strong, wouldn't say boo to a goose, but we land somewhere in the middle of China, and he speaks fluent Chinese, Mandarin. He's going to be the alpha male. We're going to look to him and say, you need to help us. In that context, he will become the alpha male for that holiday.
Yeah, going back to being a product of the environment. But I don't necessarily think that that's the case. I don't think that will make him the alpha. Why? Because, okay, he has a particular skill, but that doesn't make him...
But we'd be lost without him. He would be leading us around. He'd be saying, that sign says this, and we'd be looking at him like our dad.
Yeah, but say, for example, he has a particular tool.
Yeah.
So he can speak the language, but the real alpha cannot speak the language. But the real alpha's got more skill in other departments and more ability in other departments. So you will still go with the person who has more than the person who has less. It's like what I was saying in the beginning. You may get a person who is, let's say, a beta, weedy, not particularly good looking, probably not very good with the opposite sex, but he has finance. That particular thing cannot compensate for everything else.
But maybe these days it can.
I don't believe so.
Maybe in the old days when we lived in the woods.
I don't believe so. I don't believe so. I think that to be an alpha, what that really means is having your priorities in order, in all aspects.
Okay.
So, for example, okay, you may not be particularly appealing to the opposite sex, but you can try to do certain things that can make you more appealing. You may not be physically strong, but you can
earn more money.
No, but you can start getting yourself in a fitness program to make yourself better, dress better, present yourself better, have better public speaking abilities.
Okay.
And like you said, if you can know Mandarin, that will help as well. So I think it's a total package. I don't believe that one thing can compensate for everything else. Because if you look at the animal kingdom, the alpha, let's look at a lion, for example,
king of the jungle.
The king of the jungle. If the female is not running after the lion, the king, the lion gets the female anyway. Do you understand?
Okay.
Because he will be battling with other would-be alphas to get that female. So what I'm saying is the alpha, a real alpha, will have everything in order in his life, in all aspects. Not try to think, okay, I'm going to hit the lottery, I'm going to get this money, and then that's going to make me an alpha. Because I don't believe so. I believe money is just a tool. I don't believe money is a thing that can compensate for everything.
No, and if you're a successful person, then as a consequence, you probably would have money. I mean, idiots who win the lottery are usually broke again within a year because they don't know what to do with it.
But yeah, when I was talking about lottery, I was being general. What really meant was chasing after money.
Okay.
Working 60 hours a week, working for someone and just chasing that money. But totally neglecting everything else in your life. Yeah. That doesn't make you an alpha.
Okay. And you don't go with the theory that in the old days, women looked for a physically strong male to protect her and the offspring from the physical threats around in nature when we lived in caves. But nowadays, money or wealth or a nice house or a nice car is or a good job is a different kind of security. Why would they not want that security? There's no good being big and strong when there's no bears or wolves to
I mean, a beta male can acquire a good career.
What is a beta male?
A beta male is someone who's a bit more lower in the food chain in regards to the opposite sex.
So alpha, beta being the first two letters of the Greek alphabet?
Yes.
Okay. And are they gamma males or?
I don't know about gamma.
Omega?
That's a fish.
That's the final, omega 3. Omega is the final.
Yeah, omega is the bottom of the food chain.
In the Bible, Jesus says he is the alpha and the omega, the first and the last.
Okay.
Whatever that means.
Okay.
Someone said to me, anyone who talks about alpha males is clearly not an alpha male.
Yes.
What?
That's true.
Why is that? Because if you
a real alpha.
I mean, I am one, but
yeah.
Because
a real alpha
doesn't need to say
anything. Because the real alpha will always attract the opposite sex.
Actions
will always be successful it's not always will be successful, but will always be a fighter.
Okay.
Will always be trying. Do you understand? A beta can be disguised as your boss. Trying to be an alpha. Do you understand?
If we're to go with this premise that there are alpha males and beta males, even though I think anyone can be an alpha male on their day in their right environment, if you have someone who feels insecure, who is in a position of authority, out of fear of losing that position, they will be very ruthless, they will be very erratic, and any slight challenge they will try and do away with it as quickly and as swiftly as they can, and that can lead to quite a toxic environment. If you are going to be a leader of men or women or of people, you need to have the confidence to not be paranoid like that.
A true alpha would never flaunt. A true alpha would never show off their achievements. Do you understand? For example, or gloat to try to get the opposite sex. Like, for example, have a flashy car, or talk about their clothes, or talk about their salary, whatever else people do these days to show off. You know, they
Forgive me. Someone said today, recently, we must appear weak when strong and strong when weak. If you're not actually strong, you better give off the illusion of it. I mean, there's some...
Fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. There's creatures, there's those little flies that look like wasps, but they're actually...
But a beta can become an alpha. You know, but with the right process.
Are there alpha females and beta females?
And the alpha female generally will have a beta husband.
And she'll boss him around?
Yeah.
Are we being...
Yes. She will be in command.
Very stereotypical now. I know the word bossy is not liked by feminists, and I can understand why. A man who is an alpha is, he's a strong leader. A woman who is an alpha is so-called bossy.
No, I believe females could be alpha as well. Yes.
The queen bee.
There you
go. I've often seen it in schools. There will be a girl who absolutely rules the roost, and occasionally if there's two queen bees in a beehive, you end up with a swarm. Talking of bees, slotted it in there very smoothly. Barbara, I need to ask you about bee pollen. It's a very important topic.
I'm not really an expert. I'm not really an expert in
I don't know.
pollen.
All week the producer has been mentioning to me bee pollen. Ask Barbara about bee pollen. There's been a panic recently about bees
becoming
extinct.
Yes.
And if bees become extinct, we will be next to go. Why are the bees so important?
I mean, I've heard that bees are important, but I don't know why.
Okay, well, I've asked the wrong person, but the producer's looking doubtful. Do you know
It's something to do with the ecosystem.
You know something that you don't want to tell us?
Something to do with the ecosystem.
They've hushed him up. They've told him not to mention it.
We can go back to the testosterone.
I would like to go back to that.
But you could tell me more about bee pollen.
Well, I don't know anything about bee pollen. It was just something I was.
It's like sharks. You know, if we kill out all the sharks, the whole ecosystem will be ruined, because we always need an apex predator.
Okay.
It's also the vultures.
Apex at the top.
Apex. There you go.
The letter A.
Alpha. Apex.
The triangle. Alpha, beta. This is. Do you know where we get the word phonetic from?
No.
Phonetic meaning the way it sounds. If something's spelt phonetically, it's written the way it sounds. It comes from the Phoenician alphabet.
Okay.
The Phoenicians who were in modern day Lebanon and ruled the Mediterranean all those years ago. Well, on that note, having been around the houses, we'll pause for another break. We'll collect our thoughts. We might be back with some more toxic masculinity after the break.